Hello, friends. Welcome to Astrology with Monica Gill. And today we are going to discuss another important planet, which is Ketu. Yes. Have you suddenly stopped wanting something you always wanted desperately? A relationship that once mattered doesn't feel the same, and even your career goals have started feeling empty? Then trust me, guys, don't call it confusion. It is Ketu that is reacting because the current position of Ketu that is happening in the sign of Leo in Magha Nakshatra is going to change, where the house of Leo is in your birth chart. Yes. So let's begin and move on straight away to your zodiac signs, that how this connection and how this is impacting your zodiac sign, starting with Aries. Ketu is in your fifth house currently. So, friends, first of all, let's understand Leo means throne, identity, recognition, and authority. He is the king. Okay. Magha. What is Magha Nakshatra? It's ancestry, your lineage, your status, and your pitris. Okay. And Ketu, what does it represent? It represents detachment, your past karmic patterns, and liberation. So, what is happening when the planet of detachment is entering the territory of throne, your fifth house? So, Aries, you are losing interest in someone or something. Once you couldn't stop thinking of someone, now Ketu is moving you towards a position that you don't want to think about that person. Because Ketu is in your house of romance, creativity, children, education, intelligence, and speculation. It's your Purv Janam Punya house. So, in relationships, this can create an unusual experience. The person may be still there, the relationship may still exist, but your emotional investment can begin to change with that person. And that important person is now changing position in your life. It is because Ketu is creating a detachment. It is not creating a physical ending, it is creating an internal ending fight. Yes, you may also question a creative project or something you haven't been doing mainly for appreciation. Yes, my friends. If you have children, avoid becoming emotionally disconnecting from their needs simply because your attention is somewhere else. Okay, and be cautious of about your speculative decisions. So, because this is going to change your fifth house for another 18 months. So, trust me, basically, your lesson for this Ketu transit in Magha Nakshatra is stop performing for applause. Everything is not for applause. Perform for yourself. Okay. Now, Taurus, Ketu is happening in your fourth house, Magha Nakshatra. You can have a beautiful house and still you not feel at home. So, Ketu is creating unhappiness at your emotional level, at motherly level. So, Ketu is traveling through your fourth house, your house of home, mother, property, vehicles, your emotional security. You may become restless with your current living environment. You might want to change something around the home, relocate, maybe reinvent something at your home, or renovate, or simply spend less time there. You want to move out of your own home. But the deeper transit is necessarily not about the property or home. It is about your peace. You are not at peace. Okay. Something you have been using as an emotional security now has stopped giving you emotional comfort. Because Ketu is traveling through Magha Nakshatra, ancestral or the family patterns may also become more noticeable. Right? You may realize that you have been carrying something that didn't actually belong to you. Okay, so you want to just move that burden from yourself. So, your lesson, my Ketu friends, is home is not just where you live, it is where your mind can rest. So, find out a place, find out a peace, try to spend and invest time in what you love, and you will feel peace at home. Now, my Gemini friends, it is happening in your third house. The transit is happening in your third house. So, Gemini people, you may suddenly stop explaining yourself. Why are you doing this? What you are doing this? And all that overthinking mind. You may stop that. For Gemini, that's something important. Another thing, Ketu is moving through your house of communication, your courage, siblings, writing skills. and your short travels. You may become quieter. The more you were doing now time to stop because Ketu is detaching your speaking skills. Basically, not your complete speaking skills that I'm talking about, but you are feeling that it is not important to speak right now. You will become more selective right now. You will be less interested in unnecessary conversation, which Gemini generally do because they find happiness in that. So currently, Ketu is refining your communication. Okay. Learn in this way. Ketu also makes you an expert of something. So people interpret you that your silence is distance. Okay. But internally, you are just deciding whether you want to give a response or not, whether the other side of the party want your response or not, whether this communication is important or not. That's it. So there can also be some detachment with your siblings or the people with the immediate environment, like your neighborhood. You don't want to spend time with them. And that is perfectly fine. It is okay to take breaks in life. So, positively, if we see it is an excellent time for your research, writing, spiritual study, or the subjects that require deeper concentration. Your lesson would be silence can sometimes say more than explanation. So it is good for you. Now, fourth sign, Cancer. Ketu is happening in your second house, your house of speech, wealth, accumulation, your food habits. Yes. So let's see what is going to happen. Watch your money, but watch your words more carefully. Okay, your speech is going to decide how much wealth you are going to create during this time period. Ketu is traveling through your house of communication, your accumulated wealth, family, food, and values. Try to respect that. Because if Ketu sits in second house, if it's already in your birth chart, your speech is really harsh. You need to improve that. If you want to improve your Ketu and you want to improve your wealth, stop taking out complaints in food. There is less salt, it is more spicy. Okay? Try to balance things out in your speech. Okay. Financial priorities can change. You may lose interest in buying things that once represented success or security for my Cancer friends because Ketu is transiting your second house. But don't let detachment turn into financial carelessness. Okay? Family relationship can also feel distant because this house rule your speech, your words. I told you earlier, it will be unusually sharp. Ketu is sharp. So you might hurt your family members or others with your speech. You may something casually, but the other person is going to take it for a longer time, my friends. So pause for your actions and your words that what you are doing. So the deepest question for you guys, my Cancer friends, what do you value when you remove money from your life? What do you value when you remove possessions from your life? And what do you value when you remove people's approval from your life? Okay. So just understand one thing, people who are having Ketu in second house or current transiting Ketu in second house. Your bank balance only measures money, not your worth. Okay. Now, my Leo people, Ketu in your first house, your house of identity. So, if you are a Leo ascendant or a Leo moon, this is going to impact you more. So, Ketu is moving directly through your first house of identity, personality, body, and direction. Direction means life direction. So, Ketu is doing this um, in your first house. So, naturally, Leo wants to express. He is the king. The leader is the sun. He knows what he has to do. But Ketu responds, who are you without this title? If you are not a son, if you are not a leader, who are you without recognition, without the position, without people validating you? You may find yourself questioning an identity that you have spent years on building. Maybe you have always wanted to become a successful one, the strong one, the responsible one, the big leader. Okay. But this transit, whenever it happens, Ketu is detaching you from your own identity. He wants you to surrender to everyone. You are the king in your own house, but now I am there. Now Ketu is there in the sign of Leo. So now Ketu wants to tell you, calm down, control yourself. You need to surrender and leave your ego. Okay? Ketu doesn't cut you, doesn't cut your identity, but it can give you greater life opportunities if you understand Ketu correctly. Okay, so don't panic. You may not be losing yourself. You may be losing an outdated definition of yours, your old version. Now your version V.202 will be coming. Okay, so lesson for you is your identity is bigger than your reputation. Okay, my Leo friends. Now, Virgo, Ketu in your 12th house. If my Virgo friends have suddenly started craving silence, don't ignore the sign. Ketu is traveling your 12th house, your house of sleep, your house of dreams, isolation, foreign lands, expenses, spirituality, and moksha. Yes, this is one of the more introspective Ketu transit happening. You may want more time alone. Your dreams may become unusual. Your old memories can start returning unexpectedly. You may become interested suddenly in meditation. You want to do spirituality, astrology, and you want to understand your subconscious mind now. Okay. But also watch your unnecessary expenses. Money can quietly disappear through things you haven't been paying attention to. So watch your expenditure at this point of time. Remember just one thing, wanting solitude doesn't automatically mean you are alone. Okay. Sometimes your mind needs less noise. So that is my Virgo friends need this point of time. Your mind needs to be calm. Meditate. It's good for you. Okay. This time, God is giving you this time, universe has got this transit in your 12th house during your lifetime. It usually happens, Magha Nakshatra, every time it happens in 18 years. But the age you are, if this is happening at that particular right time, your Dasha, Antardasha is also happening. That's time for spirituality. Okay. So, the lesson for you, my friends, is you don't always find yourself by doing more. Sometimes you also find yourself being quiet, not perfectionism, my Virgo friends. Just balance it out. Okay. Now we will move to balancing symbol, balancing zodiac sign. Libra, the seventh house of the zodiac wheel. Ketu in your 11th house, your house of networks, your social network, friends, fulfillment of desires. Yes, it's one of the Upachya houses. Your friend list may go shorter. You may actually be okay with that. Okay, because now quantity will be removing, quality will be coming in. So Ketu transiting through your 11th house of friendships, networking, income and ambition and long-term desires. So certain social connections may naturally fade out. Okay, without arguments. It's not necessarily that arguments will happen. Without drama, no dramatic goodbyes. They will simply stop connecting. You will stop connecting with some kind of people. And that is what Ketu does. This is the work of Ketu. But here's another interesting possibility that may come. You may finally achieve something you wanted for a long time. Okay. Only if you have used Ketu positively in your life. Okay. And then think, is this it? If you get that thing, just understand for a moment. Is this the only thing that you were looking for? Because Ketu gives you enough experience of something to understand that it cannot fulfill you permanently. Okay. So your lesson is not every person, not every dream belongs in your future. So if you are losing any opportunity, losing some income, losing some influential friends, okay, you will get more of them, better of them. Okay. Now, Scorpio, 10th house transit. One quick remedy for you, don't resign tomorrow. Yes, my Scorpio friends. If you're currently feeling your work is not feeling well, your job is not doing well, do not resign. Okay. First, understand this transit. Ketu never wants you to quit. Ketu never wants you to leave. Just utilize Ketu energies positively and you will get the best of the results. Okay. Ketu can make you Trillionaire, not millionaire, not billionaire. Ketu is the only planet that can make you trillionaires. So, Ketu is moving in your house of career, 10th house, authority, and your public reputation. You may become less interested in all these things, less impressed by hierarchy, less willing to tolerate workplace politics. Okay, and something you have been facing professionally may suddenly feel less meaningful. Maybe you were thriving for something. Okay, I'll do this project and I'll get promotion or I'll get a salary hike. Okay, stop. Now you will stop doing that. Now you want to quit completely. But don't lose your heart. This doesn't mean career loss. Okay, it can mean a career redefinition. Ketu, maybe it may separate you from the purpose that you are fulfilling only because of prestige, not for your position, not for your peace. So follow something for your peace. Okay. And because this transit is happening in Magha Nakshatra, a nakshatra which is strongly associated with status, lineage, and authority, the question now becomes more stronger. How? Do you want that work? Or do you want the recognition attached to that work? So your lesson is success without meaning eventually will become another burden. Okay? So think thoroughly. Now, my Sagittarius friends, Ketu in your ninth house. So, Sagittarius, something you believed for years may suddenly stop making sense. Yes. Ketu is moving through your ninth house of religion, philosophy, teachers, father, higher education, long distance journeys, and spirituality. This is your ninth house, and Ketu is transiting your ninth house. Now, this can make you question teachings you have previously accepted. You may feel detached from a teacher, philosophy, or a belief system. Now, but don't immediately call it loss of faith. It is not loss of faith. It may be the beginning of a deeper faith. Maybe you can find another guru, right? So instead of asking, what should I believe? You may start asking, what have I actually experienced? Okay. So what have you experienced in life till now? This can be a powerful period for students, for people who are studying ancient wisdom, astrology, philosophy, and spiritual subjects. So trust your instincts. Don't take a break from your spirituality or anything if you are not able to do it or if you are feeling to quit it. Okay. Your lesson is wisdom begins when borrowed beliefs become personal experiences. Okay. Now, Capricorn. Ketu transit in eighth house, house of transformation, the territory where people don't talk about. Eighth house, secrets, shared finances, intimacy, fear, inheritance, sudden changes, transformation, and occult knowledge, and sometimes some buried physiology, psychologically, some things might come to the surface. Yes, you may have now become more interested in astrology all of a sudden. You are watching spiritual videos, psychology, research, or hidden knowledge. You want to learn tantra, mantra, and everything in your life. Yes. Now, but trust me, your shared finances deserves attention at this point of time. Don't become careless with your joint accounts, debts, taxes, or financial agreements. But psychology, if you talk about your mind psychology, this transit is going to give you impactful results if you use Ketu strongly. Okay. So you need to follow what Ketu wants. Ketu is a headless planet. He doesn't have a direction. He wants you to detach from certain things. Okay. He doesn't cut, but he wants you to detach. So Ketu, the house of planets, feed him with Ketu related things. If you want to do research, if you want to do occult, astrology, go ahead. Spiritualities, mantras. Okay, go ahead. Even if you are doing some kind of research in your own subjects, do that. Ketu is expertise. Okay. Now, the lesson for you is sometimes transformation begins when you stop trying to control everything. So, don't control doing everything. Now, Aquarius Ketu is transiting in your seventh house, house of spouse, partnerships. What is going to do? Marriage, committed relationships, and contracts. Let's understand this properly. So Ketu can create emotional distance with your partner's spouse. Emotional distance, physical can also be there. Okay, but distance doesn't always mean separation. I told you guys, use Ketu carefully. You can get good results. Okay, maybe your partner can start learning astrology or starting astrology videos and occult knowledge or doing some research work. Or even if your spouse loves to do knitting, stitching, even that is Ketu. Okay, so then the impact can be positive because your partner is already using the expertise of Ketu. She is feeding Ketu or he is feeding Ketu. If you feed Ketu, Ketu is not going to disturb you. Okay. So sometime the seventh house Ketu, what it reveals, what remains when dependency disappears. You don't need to be dependent. That is what Ketu says in seventh house. You may start seeing your partner completely different. You may need more of personal space. Or you may have suddenly realized that you have been maintaining a relationship because of a habit rather than a genuine connection. Okay. So for stronger relationships, this can become an opportunity to remove unrealistic expectations. But for already fragile relationships, unresolved issues may be even more harder to ignore. So your lesson is love and attachment are not always the same thing. Just try to understand that. Whether you are with a person who is loving you, caring, affectionate, or it's just an attachment, or it's just a dependency. Okay. So even if some people who are trying to apply for divorce, separation, this can be a time where, depending on your current charts, you can go ahead and get the results. Okay. Now for my Pisces friend, Ketu in your sixth house, house of Rogue, Rin, and Shatru, and your daily routines. What does it say here? Magha Nakshatra, Leo house, and transiting your sixth house. You may suddenly decide that some battles are not simply worth fighting anymore. Okay. Even this is the feature of when Ketu is in your birth chart in your sixth house. People pick up battles only that are worthwhile. Okay. You should pick up those battles only. You should not pick up and go and fight for everywhere. You are not Mars. That is what is the difference between Mars and Ketu. Mars cuts without anything. Okay. So Ketu is traveling through your sixth house of work routine, competition, debts, obstacles, and health matters. You may detach from workplace politics, first of all. Conflict that earlier you were enjoying, spending your energy in that conflict, suddenly stop mattering. So this is a positive transit for you during at this point of time. So don't confuse detachment with neglect. Okay. Keep up your practical responsibilities, paperwork, debts, routines, and health matters that need attention. Ketu can sometimes make us mentally move on before the practical situation has already been arrived or resolved. Okay, so this transit can help you identify the habits that were unnecessarily draining your energy, and you may start bifurcating it. This needs my energy, this doesn't need my energy because it's in the house of your daily routine. So you will find daily routine. Yes, I want to fight on that. No, I want to fight on that. Yes. Okay, you need to decide yourself. Hmm. And certain loans and debts you are planning to close down or you don't want to take, you might find a reason to take it, not take it, or to finish it off. Okay. Health needs attention, so be careful on that. So now here's the most important thing I would want to take away from you. Yes. So Rahu creates hunger, Ketu creates saturation. So Rahu is saying, I need to experience this, and Ketu eventually says, I have seen this enough. So right now, Ketu is traveling through your Leo Magha Nakshatra, your territory connected with identity, authority, recognition, lineage, and a symbolic throne. So something in your life doesn't excite you the way it used to be. Don't immediately assume something is wrong. Ask yourself, have I lost the opportunity or I simply outgrown the desire? Okay. So it is not complete detachment always. Ketu always doesn't remove people. Ketu doesn't always remove money. Ketu doesn't remove success, guys. Ketu removes the need to be defined by them. And that can be one of the greatest form of liberation that Ketu gives. Okay, so now guys, that was the video today. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe to my channel so that I can make more interesting videos and the impact of various transits in the various signs. And guys, this impact happens more if your current dasha, antar dasha are currently happening with the same planets in your zodiac sign, and if the current gochar or transit is happening through your natal planets. Okay, so as per even BNN or even Vedic astrology, the impact of planet comes more only if you are going through those dashas, antardasha, or the transits. Okay, thank you for watching me and my video. Hope you like it. Thank you and have a great day.